Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is RIMBUNAN with number matrix S54760. Okay. Now I will show to you all step for ratio, and then for all you know, I choose profitability ratio, which is have a 7 type of ratio. So before I show working for the ratio formula, this is for individual assignment 3 annual report 2020, and then industry plantation. So I choose two companies, which is FGB Plantation Holding BERHAD, and then RIMBUNAN SAWIT BERHAD. So for FGB, the company is principally an investment holding company with investment primarily in oil palm plantation and its related downstream activities: sugar refining, trading, logistics, marketing, rubber processing, research and development activity, and related agribusiness activity. For RIMBUNAN SAWIT, this company is principally engaged in the business of investment holding and the provision of management service. Okay, now we go to type of profitability and how to measure the ratio. So I choose FGB holding, and then another RIMBUNAN SAWIT. So before we go too long, FGB had 3-0 in the last because have a lot of profit for FGB than RIMBUNAN SAWIT for the amount. For profit margin, we need to calculate net income for FGB is 146156, and then divided total revenue, which is 14705, and then we need to divide it. Net income divided total revenue, then we need to times 100. We get 1.03%. For RIMBUNAN SAWIT, let's get loss of net income, and then for total revenue is 38 million, and then we need to divide it. Net income divided total revenue, and then we get negative. We need to times 100, and then we get negative 11%. So profit margin gauges the degree to which a company or a business activity make money essentially by dividing income by revenue. So for FGB Plantation achieved a 1.038 profit margin. It means that had a net profit of RM 0.01 for its ringgits of sales generated, while RIMBUNAN SAWIT BERHAD achieved a negative 11 profit margin, which had a net loss of RM 0.11 for its ringgits for sales generated. So it's clear show that FGB Plantation have a better profit margin than RIMBUNAN SAWIT. For second ratio is asset turnover ratio. So we need to for total sales divided average total asset. So average total sales revenue is we get from before, and then for average total asset we need to plus beginning formula sum plus beginning asset plus ending asset, and then we need to divide it 2. So we get 174, and then we need to divide it, and then times 100. we get 18%, 5 GB. For Rimbunan Sawit, total sales is negative 44, and then for total average asset we need to take from RSB sum beginning asset plus ending asset, and then we need to divide it to, we get 1 million, and then we need to divide it, and then times 100. So we get negative 4%, and then we know that asset turnover is the ratio of total sales to average asset. This metric helps investors understand how effectively companies are using their asset to generate sales. FGB Plantation have higher percentage of asset turnover, which is 80%, than Rimbunan Sawit, which only 37%. So FGB Plantation have good asset turnover too. For third ratio is return on asset, ROA, we call ROA. Net income divided average asset. So net income we take from this, and then divided average asset. For average asset we take from before, and then we need to divide it. We times 100. So we get 0.83%. For Rimbunan Sawit, we take from this negative net income, and then divided average asset. We take from before, and then we need to divide it. So we get negative times 100. So we get for Rimbunan Sawit is negative 4.33. So return on asset is a profitability ratio that provides how much profit a company is able to generate from its sales. So FGB Plantation have better and return on asset than Rimbunan Sawit BERHAD, which is 0.838%, while Rimbunan Sawit BERHAD gets a low and even negative percent of ROA, which is negative 4. So the next ratio is return on equity, ROE. So net income divided average equity. Net income for average equity, we need to find use formula sum beginning equity plus ending equity, and then we need to divide it too. So we get 6100, and then we need to divide it also, and then we need to times 100. We get 2%. And then for Rimbunan Sawit, net income Rimbunan Sawit, and then for average equity we take from the Rimbunan Sawit beginning plus ending equity, and then we need to divide it to, so need to divide that, and also we times 100. So we get negative 11. So we know that return on equity, ROE, measure a corporation's profitability in relation to stockholder equity. Whether ROA is considered satisfactory will depend on what is normal for the industry or company peer. So as a shortcut, we can consider ROE near the long-term average for FGB Plantation, which is get 2% is an acceptable ratio. Anything less than Rimbunan Sawit BERHAD is get negative 11 as a pool. So for the next ratio is earning per share. Earning per share income divided weighted average number of shares. So for FGV, net income we get from this, and then for weighted average we take from table from financial. So we need to divide it. Then we need to times 100. So we get 4%. So for Rimbunan Sawit, it's the same. For weighted average, for Rimbunan Sawit is 2 million. So we need to divide it. Then we get negative, so we times 100. So we get negative 2. So for earning per share EPS is a company net profit divided by the number of common share it is outstanding. EPS indicates how much money a company makes for its share of its stock, and it's widely used metric for estimating corporate value. So we know that FGB Plantation BERHAD produced earning of RM 0.04 ringgit per share, have good earning per share. Then Rimbunan Sawit BERHAD produced loss of 0.02 per share. For the next is price earning ratio. Price earning ratio is share price divided earning per share. So share price for FGB is 1.28. For earning per share we get for this ratio, and then we get 0.0. We need to divide it. Share price divided EPS. So we get 31. For Rimbunan Sawit share price is 0.28, and then for EPS we get from before negative 0, and then we need to divide it also. So we get negative 12. So the price earning ratio PER relates a company share price to its earning per share. A high PER means that a company's stock is overvalued, or else that investors are expecting higher growth rates in the future. So we know that FGV Plantation BERHAD have 31 have good price earning ratio, then Rimbunan Sawit get negative 12. So for the last ratio is payout ratios. So payout ratio is dividend divided net income. So for FGV, dividend is 72 million, and then divided net income. FGV. So we need to divide it also. Okay, so we get 0.499. So for Rimbunan Sawit, no dividend to paid. So a payout ratio for Rimbunan Sawit is 0. Because net income the payout ratio, also known as a dividend payout ratio, show the percentage of a company earning payout as dividend to shareholder. A low payout ratio can signal that a company is reinvesting the bulk of its earning into expanding operation. A payout ratio over 100% indicates that the company is paying out more in dividend that its earning can support, which some view as an practice. FGB Plantation Berhad have a paid dividend and payout ratio, which is RM 0.499, and Rimbunan Sawit Berhad have no dividend payout, resulting no payout ratio generated. So that's all from me. And then this is from reference from annual report. I get this. This is from FGBP Plantation Annual Report 2020. I get, then I just have a more. And then this is for this is for Rimbunan Sawit, have a 3 statement. And then for Rimbunan Sawit, no dividend was paid since the end of the previous financial year, and the director do not recommend the payment of any dividend for current financial year. Thank you from me. That's all.